Oh, yeah, you know what time it is. It's time for Rivals Assembled. I am your host this week. This is Kenz. I am not Mark, and I have all the power this week. The boys are gone. They are at GCX, and I am solo. So I am running the show while everybody's out having a blast in Disney and meeting people. And I'm not sad about it at all. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. I promise. But yeah, I am here. I'm holding down the fort. Had some family coming into town, so I could not make it due to prior obligations. But that means you still get somewhat of an episode this week. So because I'm solo, I've got no one to bounce things off of here. I've got no one to fact check me. So I'm a loose cannon. But we're going to get to it. We're going to do the best we can to still get through some of the usual segments, the news and some questions and things like that. So before we get to it, make sure that you check us out on Twitter or X or whatever. That's at Rivals Assemble. We've got Twitch and YouTube at Rivals Assembled Pod. Make sure to leave us some comments on Spotify, and our email is pod@rivalsassemble.com. Make sure you join our Discord. There's all kinds of stuff going on over there every day. People playing, having a great time. Got some questions from the Discord that we're going to roll through later at the end of the episode. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon. So that's patreon.com/rivalsassemble, where you get so many shows a week. Honestly, can't keep track of how many there are. There's at least 4, maybe 5, 6, 4 solo shows, two bonus shows from NCU recaps. That's 6 shows a month that you get for $5 to be a true believer. So we got the MCU recap coming out. Probably, I'm not sure when we'll do that next one, but we are technically on Thor: The Dark World at this point. But tonight, I am fresh out of Fantastic Four. So went and saw that movie earlier today and came home to record this. But I'll tell you, we'll do an episode on it. But if you are questioning the state of the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now, I think we're back. Fantastic Four is, dare I say, fantastic. It's incredible. It is up there for me, and I cannot wait to talk about it. So make sure you catch that in the Patreon. I think Neil also had a solo show this week where he talked about some comics and Final Fantasy. So lots of good stuff to catch up on there. All right. So again, the guys are at GCX. So if you are at GCX and you happen to be listening to this tomorrow or whenever this goes up and you want to go hang out with them, hop in the Discord, send them a message, go try to meet them. I'm sure it'll be a great time. So it's lots of cool stuff happening there. So I was not on the last episode because I was in the great city of Chicago at a conference. And so we're just all messed up here. I missed the last one, and then everyone else misses this one. So we'll get back to it eventually. But because I was not on the last one, they did a poll, and I'll review that now for everybody. So the poll was, which character do you want to get a symbiote skin? The options were Magic, Moon Knight, Hulk, Luna Snow, Emma Frost, or Iron Fist. And the winner was Hulk. And I definitely agree. Imagine what a Hulk symbiote skin would be. And this is something I think that Rivals definitely could do. The way that they have been playing around with certain skins and just certain just original things that they've been doing with the game. I think that this could be such a cool thing to do. So, and it might happen. We don't know kind of where the story is going, with this season. And much like there were some reasons for a lot of the skins in both the Dracula season and, the Krakoa season. Maybe there's a reason that Hulk could get a symbiote skin. And that could be so gnarly. Love symbiote skins. Everyone should get one. Everyone should get a symbiote skin. Also would love an Emma Frost skin. That would be great. But she did get the Phoenix one this time around. So probably not happening there. So I threw together a poll for you guys for this next week. And I'm just going to say, we had the Hellfire Gala skins and trying to see that there was the event, which one is best, which one would you pick and that one would, get something for the next year. So this time, who's got the best summer skin so far? Kind of talking about it in the news a little bit. We kind of had that summer battle pass that came out. And so far we've got Thor, the Worthy Waves skin, Luna Snow's Surfer Ice Queen, The Thing's Speedo mode, the Human Torch's Beach Blazer, and Loki's Mischief at the Pool. So yeah, who's the winner so far? Like who's at the top? For me, it's got to be, as much as I want to say Thor, because I love Thor, the Thing's Speedo mode. It's so simple and is quite literally the best. And there is it's free because there's a free track to the battle pass, but there's a spray for the Thing right now that you can get in that summer battle pass. That is a "Here's the Thing" spray. And it's just that text that says "Here's the Thing." And the first time I saw that, I laughed a lot, as more than I probably should have. All right, so last week we usually do our weekend game, but we had Phoenix from this past week, and so the guys got into the test build, which I did not get a chance to play in, and so they were able to share their early thoughts on Phoenix on the last episode. But I've got the real deal here. I've got in this week, and I've been playing a lot of Phoenix, and so that's our challenge. And so for me, Phoenix, how that went, if you've heard me talk at all about DPS characters when we do these challenges, they're not my jam, like in any way, and it makes me never want to play like Rivals ever again at some point. That's usually how it starts, as I'm very in my head about playing a damage character, because it's not how I like to play these type of games. I would much rather protect the people that are trying to do the damage or help support them in some way. Take that pressure off of me, please. I'll do other jobs. But yeah, so it's not my thing. So whenever I search, when they released Phoenix, I'm like, cool, Phoenix is awesome. But I don't really care to play another damage DPS hero right now. But I did, and I had a really bad time for maybe like 5 games, 6 games. I ended up going 6-4, I think, in my record. But honestly, I pay no attention to that. I had a couple of bot games, which I immediately knew were bots, where it was like the whole other team was bots, and I think I had like 2 real people on my team, which is ridiculous. If Mark was here, he can hear me. He can probably feel a tingle right now that we're talking about bots right now, and that's what's happening. But yeah, so that was really annoying. And but anyway, so I don't put any stock in the scoring of how many games I won, but that's how it went. But the first half of the games, I was having a pretty bad time. And the reason for that is I think I was playing too timid. I played quite a bit of Hela when the game in the beta. I played a lot of Hela, and then when the game launched, Hela was like my main for a little bit whenever I was trying to play damage. And so when I play Hela, I play pretty far back. I don't know if her damage fall off is as much as Phoenix or not, or what's going on. But whenever I play Hela, I kind of tend to stay in the back line and can pretty easily pick people off, given I'm locked in to that at the time. I was trying to play Phoenix that way, and it was not working out. It was I was doing very poorly. I was not hitting my shots. I feel like I wasn't doing damage to anybody. Unless they were a tank and they were just kind of like, a very easy target to hit. Wasn't hitting flyers well. But so wasn't really sure what was going on. And I took a bit more look at her kit and realized that I think that she needed to be played more, like a lot more aggressively than I would play Hela, which I play kind of pretty safe. Play it safe. Take him out from the back, try to get some of those burst shots in. So I started moving up a bit more, like closer to the tanks, kind of a mid-range DPS instead of like a backline DPS. And I would use that dash I would get in, get close, and the dash is to get away. When you do the dash, there's a burst that explodes where you are. Initially, kind of what I thought it was is the dash is it would explode where you go to, but it's where you're coming from. And so that was really helpful to learn, and then kind of using her E ability to get away whenever I was in danger. And as soon as I started playing that way, as soon as I started playing her more aggressively, I started doing really well, and had a lot of much better games. Someone in our Discord, whenever we were talking about Phoenix, whenever she first released, they compared her to a Titan in Destiny, but it's really any solar wielding guardian, because I'm a warlock main, in Destiny, because in Destiny there's ignitions where it's like the more that you are shooting or applying a scorch burn to an enemy, the more ignitions will happen, the more of a debuff there will be, and the more damage that you will do. And so I forget who had said that, but that is such a great analogy for how Phoenix plays, because the more that you're hitting those shots, the more of that burst damage you're going to get. And that was another problem as to why I don't think I was doing very well for those first couple of games. One, I was hitting every couple of shots, but in order to do like the best amount of damage for her, you need to hit at least 3 so you can do that, get that big burst. And I wasn't doing that, and so I was kind of missing the whole point of her thing. So playing more aggressively really helped me with her. Her ultimate, I've had so many fails with that ultimate. It's so jarring, and I'm just not used to it. Because it's like, for one, you kind of need to be, I compared it, when we went through the test build and I was watching Mark play it, I compared it to a Predator missile in Call of Duty. Like you need to like make sure that you're hidden really well so you can launch your Predator missile, because while you're flying that thing around, you're completely vulnerable. And so you're not vulnerable as Phoenix whenever you're flying around as the Phoenix in the ultimate. But whenever you are done, you're going to be right back where you were, and then you're going to be vulnerable. So I still think that it's important to find a safe place to be, so that whenever you come out of being the Phoenix, you're in a place where you can kind of get your bearings. Because that was my biggest mistake, because so many ultimates, and I think that's the only ultimate in this game where you are going to be, where it kind of takes you out of yourself, and then you're kind of, it's the way that the screen fades, and it's like I'm disassociated suddenly. I don't know what's going on, and so that's been really jarring for me to figure out. But it's if I can get in a good hiding spot, I've gotten like, I think 2, like got like a double with it at one point. But what I really like using it for is taking out like the spider nests, especially kind of like with that new team up with Penny right now. It's like unless they're weak or unless they're really squishy, I'm probably not going to get a kill with it. But if I can use that ultimate to take out some nests and maybe some Loki drones, then I feel like I did kind of something. But I tell you, there are so many times in the Clintar map, the push map, not the new one. The last game that I played, I was in kind of the caves over there, and I thought I could get like kind of through one of those little openings and pop my ultimate. Popped it, tried to fly the Phoenix like through the alcove, and just slammed it right into the wall, and it did absolutely nothing. And of course, someone in the chat had to say, "Hey, Phoenix, nice ult," and it was completely valid. But that's kind of how that's gone for me. She's great. She is not going to be someone that am like, oh man, like I need to play Phoenix right now in order to best assist my team. That is not something that I'm going to be doing, but she's a great time. Also, I don't like the default skin at all. I don't like this look for Jean Grey. I don't know what's going on with like the like scaly kind of way that they've kind of done her armor and her costume. So what I did, one of my favorite recent comics, X-Men comics, is X-Men Red. And I was thinking, I was like, man, what she really needs is an X-Men Red skin. Like, I can't wait until they go in and they add like X-Men Red. And then I'm like, well, let me just see what skins they have. Lo and behold, there's an X-Men Red skin. And I was like, all right, well, instant purchase. So I bought that, and just because she now has the X-Men Red skin, and it's just like the alternate color. So it was the cheap one. I had like enough of the blue units already to purchase it. So it was not a big deal, and I was very satisfied with that purchase, and it made it, I think that at that point was when I started playing better. It's like you gotta put your clothes on, you gotta put your game day clothes on and get out there. So for me, that was the X-Men Red costume. But so that is really all my thoughts on Phoenix. I'm sure that the guys will share more of kind of what their experience has been like as they get to actually get into the real game with her and play from this past week. But yeah, so we're going to move on to a segment without a cool bumper because I only have the intro music. And so that's the situation. But it is the Not So Daily Bugle News. And this week, what's going on in the news is really there's about 2 weeks of news to cover here. Not a ton happening in the past 2 weeks. We did get the summer themed battle pass. And so that's probably the biggest thing. And so this is that there's a free track for it, but also I'm looking at it now. Is the Thor skin free? I don't know if it is or not. It might be. I haven't really looked through it too much, but I believe there are 4 skins in this. So you get the Luna Snow summer costume, the Thing costume, and Thor. So 3. And so basically it's 3 skins for the cost of $10. So the biggest criticism with this is that it is another $10 battle pass. And yeah, sure. Like I think it still should be 5. I'd be okay with them removing one of these skins, and then giving us a $5 pass instead of a $10 pass, just like the previous Magneto one. So I don't know why it has to be another $10. Not my jam, but you don't have to buy it. And it's fine. It doesn't bother me too much. Hopefully it will be back around in some capacity, but yeah. So you got the 3 skins there. There's a free track to it. Like I said, I mentioned that the spray, It's the Thing spray, and there's some other cosmetics that you can get with it as well. So that went live, I believe, last week. We had a patch on 7/17 that is that summer event pass special. And yeah, so the costume color. So the Loki robe of relaxation, I think that one is those are just new colors. Okay, so that's just one of the new colors. It's not part of the thing. So that this patch mainly just released that and kind of some fixes with some heroes and maps. So nothing too crazy from that patch from 2 weeks ago. But we did get a balance patch on 7/17. So apparently which as I was playing Phoenix, I actually did not really, I don't know if I ever had a Wolverine on my team. She's the anchor for that, but apparently Wolverine's healing was kind of out of control. I've told the world that I'm never playing Wolverine ever again because I had an atrocious time playing that character. The most unfun experience that I've ever had in Marvel Rivals was playing Wolverine. And so I would not know, but apparently he like wouldn't die even less with the Phoenix team up. So I do kind of like how they do this sometimes is whenever they nerf something, they nerf it for a reason. And then they try to like adjust the other thing, to kind of the where they want it to be. So they nerfed the healing from the lifesteal from Phoenix's, team up from 33% to 25%, but Wolverine got, reduction in reduced percentage damage per attack at maximum range from 4.5 to 3.5%, and increased his Berserker Claw damage from 6 to 8, increased regenerative healing factor from 90 seconds to 105 seconds, and the cooldown reduction from 10 seconds to 12 seconds when participating in KOs. So there's some adjustments there to kind of probably be more in line with what they're wanting with that team up, but I don't have any first-hand experience there really. So we got next we got the a game update for this week. So the patch for when was this? 7/24. That is today. So today's patch, it released the Fantastic Four First Steps skins. And and I believe this also released the team up, but for the Thing and Human Torch. So it has some additions and optimizations with the team up ability, and yeah, quick match now grants 15 accessory points per match. So really just kind of two main changes, launching those first step skins, which honestly are great. I prefer the blue and the white over kind of the white in kind of the rivals original skin for the Fantastic Four. And some other news is we've got Rivals at San Diego Comic-Con, which I believe is happening right now. So we're headed to San Diego Comic-Con this year, and we as in Marvel Rivals, not the Rivals Assembled podcast there at GCX. But that would be awesome. I don't know, maybe next year we can go to Comic-Con. That'd be sick. So the event schedule, it looks like, it starts today. There's a Meet the Cast, hands-on booth giveaways. Tomorrow we're going to get some hero creation concepts, team signing sessions, some meet and greets and stuff like that. So on Saturday, there's going to be a hands-on and in-booth giveaway. So I don't know if we're going to get, I don't know, maybe they show Blade at this thing. That would be cool to finally get some like reveals of, something coming up, and maybe get a tease of what might be coming next. Because remember, we're getting one new hero a month now. So we got Phoenix and we got Blade next. So maybe they'll start telling us a bit sooner what's going to be coming up. So that would be cool. And San Diego Comic-Con would be a sweet place to do that. So check that out if you're interested in seeing more from the team and what they've got going on there. So the Thing Human Torch team up. So it says things are heating up, introducing a brand new team up ability from Human Torch and the Thing: lift, slam, and disable with first steps. Buckle up, hot shot, time to take flight and land with impact. So this is the Thing is. So he lifts him into the air, the perfect moment to hurl Ben to the ground, dealing damage, launching enemies, and creating a zone that disables mobility abilities. Sure. So that's cool. So it basically turns, so the Thing has that like crown control thing where he can't be like kicked or, any of that. I forget what the keyword is that pops up on the screen whenever you've been thinged or whatever, but that is going to be like affected by this team up. It sounds like it's going to put that on the ground to keep you from like running away for a little bit of CC. So I kind of felt the same way about Thunderbolts whenever they did the, so my thing with these movies, I've shared it before. I don't watch trailers. I watch the initial, trailer of these movies. I'm going to watch them. You don't have to convince me to watch them. I don't have to be hyped for Marvel movies. I'm going to go see them. I want to watch the first trailer in order to see like, oh yeah, like how are these actors going to do? What's kind of the general vibe maybe of the movie? And that's it. Then I'm out. So for the Fantastic Four, I watched the first trailer and that was it. I never watched anything else. When I saw this team up, it spoiled that moment in the movie. And I was kind of mad that because it's a cool moment and it happens at an awesome time. And maybe it was in a trailer, but I don't know. I didn't watch the trailer. I just can't, I don't know. So I kind of wish that maybe like they'd save this for next week, but, yeah. So I was like, oh, cool. They're doing the Thing from Marvel Rivals, not, they're doing the Thing from the movie. But anyway, that was a minor nitpick and just mainly a me thing. But yeah, so that team up should be live and it seems cool. It seems like it's going to be a cool thing, to kind of hilarious too. But to kind of like do some damage, knock enemies back and then create that CC in a different kind of way. So, and a last bit of news that I added here that I thought was really cool, MCU related. But Kevin Feige's son, who is, if you don't know who Kevin Feige is, he's the head of the MCU, is like super into Marvel Rivals right now. And there's an article about, He's like, it's kind of one of those things of like, if you're the kid of someone famous, it's kind of like you don't really care what your parents do. Like, oh yeah, I've never watched, they're like never watch their movies or never care about what they're into or watch their stand up or like pay attention to anything that everyone else in the world knows. And so like it seems like Kevin Feige's kid is going to his dad and like, hey dad, can you tell me more about like Hela? And like what she's about, because she's in this game Marvel Rivals. And so it's just kind of awesome that this is a thing. But what I'm really hoping is that he's also asked Kevin about Jeff, and so maybe that's going to push Feige to maybe we're going to get a Jeff show or Jeff in the MCU or something like that. But the MCU right now is popping off, I do believe, with especially with Fantastic Four. But I contribute a lot of my current hype to the MCU again to Rivals, and it's interesting that just like Feige's kid, I am hyped for the MCU and the movies are good again, but like I wasn't that big of a fan of Brave New World, but I was so hyped to go see that movie because I was so Rivals has gotten me back into comics and loving Marvel again after a couple months and years of some fatigue when things were not so great. And so Feige's son, like showing some love to Rivals, and hopefully we can get some more crossover stuff. But so some more on the costumes. So some costumes in the store. We got 2 weeks ago. We got the Loki and Psylocke skin. So both of these are available. Loki and Psylocke arrive in style with new summer looks. One divine, the other deadly. Whether you're chasing mischief or peace, do it fabulously. So these have been in the store for about a week, and they're both incredible. The Loki skin is so good, and so looking at his MVP screen, I guess it looks like Thor is driving a boat, and then a bunch of Lokis stop popping up, and he starts whacking them like whack-a-moles, and it's so good to find like the right Loki. So it says, you wish for me to join your seaside celebration, brother? So be it. But when Loki steps into the sunlight, he does so with style unmatched by any mere mortal. The god of mischief sheds his cloak in favor of golden waves and sunlit swagger. First seen in Marvel Rivals Season 3. So he's got a dapper outfit with a big sun hat. And he has an emote where he pulls out like the crocodile Loki. And honestly, that's my favorite part. And this boat it's like a Norse rowboat, but with a motor on it. So that's cool. I loving the silly stuff that they put out like this. And then we've got Psylocke. So Psylocke is, I've spent so long fighting monsters and demons, I cannot remember the last time I allowed myself to have fun. Today, that changes. Trade shadows for sunlight and blades for butterflies. Psylocke embraces the peace she's long been denied in her breezy butterfly costume, arriving Marvel Rivals Season 3. So there's Psylocke, and she looks great. Her hair looks cool, and yeah. I don't know if these. I think these have effects too, but I have not seen those yet. But I think there might be some cool things that these can do, and I love that they're doing that, like the effects and stuff that you can add that only like you can see to kind of make it super cool. And then finally, from this week, we got the Fantastic Four First Steps. This is the kind of the blue and the white. It's the suits from the movie. Get groovy and suit up with your team, featuring the costume inspired by Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four First Steps. Today, we are your defenders. The four of us will face the danger, and we will protect you. Family is about connecting to something bigger than yourself. Whatever life throws at us, we will face it together as a family. So some quotes from the movie there. Pain and hardship lie ahead, but it's somehow tolerable when faced with your team. Your ride or die is your family. So there you go. That's those skins are out now, and they're great. I don't know. These are not like super crazy, so I don't know how much these are, but I feel like they should be some of the cheaper ones. But anyway, So that's really it for the news. That's all I got for you. I'm not sure how long this is going to go. Might be a bit of a shorter episode. No lore this week. Nothing prepped there. So we're skipping the Cerebro files, and we'll move on to the last segment of the show, which is what ifs. So I've got some questions here from Discord that we'll go through. And first one comes from Chase. He says, running the pod solo. Maybe you can cover some solo player talking points as a rival player. Could be anything from player tips to vantage points. You like to use settings options to limit bad game culture, such as chat, voice. Just some ideas. Question for me: if you have to invent a new accessory, ultimate VFX, alt costume color, what would it be and what would it be for? Be as creative as you like. So by playing solo, I am typically, I'm more of a follower, you know. I make sure that I have my pings set up. So I have, some pings on my, my mouse, my side buttons, for kind of some easy access to pings to communicate that way. If we're being flanked or we need to peel, or things like that. Or if we just need to or to kind of like wait, you know, like sometimes it's like, let's wait and hold here instead of everyone running in and dying and charging ultimates. So making sure that you've got easy access to your pings. I'm never in voice chat. I've never joined voice chat, in Rivals outside of Discord with randoms. But the text, you know, I am, I like to think that I usually don't pop into the chat unless someone needs like a voice of reason. Usually if people are going at each other and it's like them going at each other is a reason for us losing. It's like everyone's focusing on like being jerks to each other instead of trying to win. I'll try to pop in and try to chill everybody out, and try to offer some guidance in why we don't need to do that, because that's not helpful to anyone at the time, if we really want to win. And this is specifically competitive. Honestly, in quick play, I just let it ride. I don't. It's like, say what you want. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to enjoy my game. I'll pop some pings when I need to, but if we lose, I don't really care. It's still a good time. But competitive is mainly where this happens. You know, I'll try to make sure to, you know, if we need to switch, you know, I'll send a message, but, most of the time it's just through pings for me. And that's why playing solo just kind of sucks. The other question of like, if I had to invent a new accessory, ultimate VFX or alt costume color, what would it be? For me, the answer is always more lightning. Big Thor player, and the more lightning, the better. So give me just like, I want just like break my graphics card, please. Just throw it all out there. You could do the same thing with like Phoenix or Human Torch, like just more fire, blue fire. I don't know. Like let's get really hot. Let's get like some crazy different colored fire. You know, like red lightning and just like different effects and stuff like that. But yeah, give me Thor with lots more lightning, please. That would be great. Just like effects of like when I hit someone, just like a big giant like lightning explosion with every like massive hammer. Maybe that could be like some type of mythic, like if they ever do like weapon skins, like a mythic Thor Mjolnir would be a cool thing. It's like when you hit someone, there's just like a big like effect of damage and lightning sparks spewing everywhere and breaking everyone's graphics card. Yeah, give me that, please. Next one comes from Maddie. I'm unsure, but that's how we're going to say it. Need some Hooked on Phonics help there. With The Thing Human Torch team up being included due to a scene from the Fantastic Four, spoiler alert, what's another team up from a Marvel movie that you'd like to put in the game? Examples of Thor, Captain America in Endgame, Scarlet Witch, Captain America in Infinity War. There's a scene where like Thor charges up Iron Man, and like I think it's by accident, and he like, oh yeah, it's in Avengers whenever they're fighting each other, and Thor kind of like shoots Iron Man with all the lightning, and the power hits maximum, and Iron Man lets out a massive just like a unibeam blast. That would be super cool. to do. Just kind of have Thor charge up Iron Man and just a big, massive beam of light to take out. But that might be a little too OP. So something like that. Juice up Iron Man. But also I was thinking about this, and it's not an MCU, but I really want to team up. I really want more Moon Knight team ups. And I was thinking about like what it could be like if Doctor Strange had some type of team up with Moon Knight where he calms part of his insanity, and I don't know, maybe it's like a little more controlled bursts of the fists of Khonshu. Maybe they're placed, like in front of him instead of like over the top of everyone. The little small fists, maybe it's not quite as chaotic, but it's like more like controlled bursts of fists of Khonshu, controlled, assisted by Doctor Strange, something like that. But that's what I got for that right now. Last question here. If you had to remove a character from the game, what would it be? In my opinion, characters like Squirrel Girl, Wolverine, and Black Panther are all necessary for the game. Squirrel Girl for new players, Wolverine for anti-tanks, as much as it pains me to say it, as a main tank, and Black Panther for anti-support. 2D2 covered this and said that none of the characters should be removed, but if he had to pick, he said Black Widow, because it would have the least impact on the game. What are your thoughts? Well, I also think that no one should be removed from the game. I think that if they don't have their time now, I truly believe that they will at some point. Even Black Widow, like she's coming. Like 3 years from now, we're gonna be like, man, can we believe when Black Widow was never played because she's the number one character in the game or something, whatever. Whenever she finally gets some type of rework, but everyone has their due. No one needs to be removed. It's gonna be fine. Also, like, you remove a character and you remove a fan base, of people that like, man, I would really love Black Widow, love Black Panther, love Squirrel Girl, and you take that away. And now, never take things out of my video game ever. Thank you. But to answer the question, just off the top of the head, I have not gotten into the nitty gritty of the numbers, and I haven't watched any videos and understanding Phoenix and kind of how she should be played in comparison to someone like Hela. But just in the short amount of time that I've played her, aside from kind of how I changed the play style, they don't seem much different. Obviously, the ultimates are different. Phoenix is kind of a support killer and a way to kind of take out the deployables, I guess is the word for those. And Hela's ultimate does way more damage. But so I'm like, maybe we take out Hela if we're going to add a character that does almost the same thing. I have a hard time understanding why would you play one or the other, or would you ever need both on your team? And so someone that knows more than me, please send me some education on what's going on there. I'm sure they're both fine, but I haven't looked any like meta statistics or anything. Yeah, so maybe that impacts the game less whenever you add a character that seems to be so similar. But yeah, just a thought off the head right now. So, but yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this episode. I've gone through just about all that we have here, kind of given what thoughts I can. You're getting 1/4 of a show this week, so if you're one of those people that does not like the 2-hour episodes, here you go. This is for you. If you are someone that does like the 2-hour episodes, blame everyone that left me, because here I am making it happen. So anyway, so make sure that you check us out. We'll usually do this live on Twitch, but obviously not this week. The regular stuff will be back whenever the next episode comes out. We'll have everyone around again. But until then, I'm going to sign off. This has been the Kenz Takeover, and I'll catch you next time. Here's Nell. Peace!